This is Tuesday, the 5th of April 2022. This is a video to commemorate the second anniversary of my friend WORTHADD, who passed away this day 2 years ago, 2020, due to a ruptured aorta in France. He used to stand here from 2011 to 2018 to the end. At the end of October 2018, he was relocated to France in the end of October 2018. I knew him a year and 8 months. We came here 2017, February 2017. He left the 22nd of October, but unfortunately I missed out on his departure because we were away for most of that month of 2018. We had trouble with our camera, so we weren't able to make it here for his departure. So we missed out by 2 days of his departure. So unfortunately I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him on the day he left. So we didn't get back till the 25th of October, which was the Thursday. So we were away for practically the whole month of October. So I came back on the 25th and I went down the doors. I looked down the doors because they were mentioning that there were rumours going around. His name was mentioned a few months previous. David had hinted his name a few months previous about him leaving, or he was mentioning his leaving and stuff like that. He's trying to say that to kind of upset me or something like that, or he's trying to, because he knew that WORTHADD meant a lot to me and stuff, they don't understand, these horses, our staff don't understand horses. I've got a very strong connection with them, so they understand that they're just not just horses to me. They're more like friends, companions to me. So he was very special to me, WORTHADD was, and I regard him as a very good friend, and he was very funny. He made me laugh. I had a lot of great memories, so I could tell you a lot of great things about WORTHADD. He always made me laugh. He was always nodding his head, and that's the way that WORTHADD would communicate with me, is by nodding his head all the time. And I had this catchphrase for him, the Italian stallion, because he was an Italian horse, and he would have had a very bright future ahead of him if he had lived according to reports. Saying he had very high potential, and his offspring are doing very well on the racetracks as well too. So we were at the races there. I think it was before Christmas. I think it was around before the end of last year. I think it was in the Punchestown. I think we saw his name on the race card. Hurricane Joey, I think was the name of his son, right? Hurricane Joey. And did he win the race? I can't remember whether he won. What? I can't remember whether he won. I think he was very close. It was a very close call. Very close, I think. Hurricane Joey was not Hurricane Joey. It was something Joey. I think it was Hello Joe, something Joey. Anyway, was the name of his son. And the name of his son, and WORTHADD was the first time I've seen his name in quite a long time in the racing. But yeah, so it was a very hard day today, and so this is his old paddock. This is where he used to be, and it's now taken over by Nando Parado, one of the new stallions. Nando Parado is now taking residence. It was taken residence by many few stallions before Nando took over. It had taken over first by Decoration Night, and then it was taken over by Acciano, and then they had Pallavicini in it as well, and then they put back Nando Parado in it again, and then Pallavicini, switching Pallavicini and Acciano in here back and forth a few times, and now it's taken residence now by the new stallion Nando Parado. So Nando Parado is the new star in here, and so this is his new home. So he's now opposite. He's opposite a piano here now. Stalin that came here last year, and Keanu will be here a year now on Halloween of this year now. But I'm not talking about Keanu. But this is where he was. I've got great memories of WORTHAD'S. There's one memory that I never forget. That's always fresh on my memory. The 19th of July. He was here eating at his fence. Eating at his fence here, and the whole panel came down. So that's one thing I never forget. That's one memory that will always stay fresh in my memories. When he broke the panel, the whole thing came down. It was hilarious. It's actually very funny. And there's a lot of great days. He's just running around, galloping around the fields. And he's always nodding his head. People that seem to, it's mentioned to a few people about the nodding, they think that's weaving. He's kind of weaving. It's more like weaving, and people saying that's more like weaving. Like Invincible has got a habit of weaving as well. He does that quite a lot outside, and he does it in the stable. So it's more like weaving. But he looks like he seems a very happy horse. He never had any health issues when he was here in the stud. He never seemed to have any problems when he was in the stud. He always seemed very happy, very full of life, and very full of vitality. He's always running around, and he never seemed to have any health issues, as far as I see. The only thing he had done when he was here was getting his shoes done, get them changed or something like that. And but he never seemed to have any health issues when he was here, so it made me feel maybe very confused in how he would die of ruptured aorta, because I never knew and I didn't think he'd have any problems with his heart or anything like that, or any health problems whatsoever. He always seemed to be very fit and very healthy when he was here. And the horses, as you know, they're all very well looked after here. And so I can't believe it's 2 years already. It's flown by. It's actually flown by. I can't believe it's 2 years since he died. So, but you can't believe it either. You can.
No.
How you feel about?
Oh, it's very sad, emotional.
Yeah. You're very fond of WORTHAD too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Miss Jordan was up here. I'd like to hear what her points are about him. She's gone to the very end.
He used to nod his head, didn't he?
He used to nod. He's always nodding his head, and that was his way of communicating with people. Well, with me anyway, because I used to always talk to him, and he's always going like this, and I say to him, "My beautiful horse," and he's always doing this, always shaking his head, and he's just so funny. He had me in stitches. Like, I would regard him as the Mr. Ed of the Irish National Stud, Mr. Ed of the Talking Horses, you know, the comedian, the comedy thing, the Talking Horse. So he's kind of reminded me of him in a way, but even though he didn't talk, but he kind of spoke with his ears, or his head. That was his way of communication with his head. But I mentioned to a few people about WORTHAD and what he was like and the way he was communicating with his head, but people seem to say, "Oh, that's probably him. That's some weaving," or the kind of the way he's weaving. But to me, that was his way of communicating with me. Because nodding is also another way of communicating with people. She's gone at the very end of the path. Where's she gone?
I don't know. Reading the various posters.
Yeah. I would like to get her point of view on this, you know, as well. I'd like to hear what she thought of WORTHAD too, you know. But he was
also apparently one of the most gentle horses. When the students were learning how to take the horses into the stables, they were often given, if they were afraid of the horses, they were often given WORTHAD to start off with, because he was so gentle.
Yeah, and he's also saying, staff are also saying he's very quiet horse. He's also very quiet as well. He's very calm. He's a very calm walker. Like, he wouldn't rear up, he wouldn't kick his legs, or wouldn't rear up or shake his head. Like Decoration Light, for example, who's in this paddock here behind Liam, he would shake his head and rear up quite a lot. And Palvicini was also, when he was be led in from the paddock, he would rear up quite a lot. He'd do a lot of rearing up in the past, and do a lot of rearing up and kick his legs. Like, the other day I was filming for Eagle doing a cover, and he was rearing up quite a lot. like they're kind of high strung, but WORTHAD was very calm. Like he would. I only have one film. I've only got one film of him being led out to cover. Only one film. Of all the time I've known him, which was not very long. You come to think of it, it's not very long.
Here she is now.
It's not very long when you come to think of it. Only a year and 8 months. Of the year and 8 months I know WORTHAD, I've only had one film of it being led out to cover. Only one film of it being led out to cover. And he was only €5,000 at the time. That was his fee at the time, it was €5,000. I think that was 2017. I think it was 2000. I think it was the first year that we came into the stud. And we were with we were with Geraldine at that time. She's actually in the stud with us, and we were kind of had such a great funny day. And I could hear WORTHAD winning in the stall. I said, "Oh, is that you, WORTHAD? Ciao, is that you, WORTHAD in there? Is that you shouting there?" You know. Then staff came up through the door, and he started winning. He started winning in them, right? He started winning as he's opening the door. Like, Jesus Christ, the loud win out of him. And so they bought him, and then Liam was joking, oh, €5,000 a pop or something, €5,000, what was it?
Yeah,
So
pop,
5,000, what?
Pop, yeah.
€5,000 a pop or something like that. And for a shag or whatever it's called. He's always making a joke about that.
Yeah.
About, the horse has been let out, because of the fees, for, what to call it. He's always joking.
Yeah.
About the, because the, Geraldine, come here. I want the viewers to hear your views about WORTHAD. I want the viewers to hear your views about WORTHAD. What you thought of him?
There's another horse down here.
No. Talking about WORTHAD. I want the viewers to hear. To get your opinion on him.
Wonderful horse. Great friend of mine.
Yeah, very good friend.
Miss him badly.
Yeah, you miss him terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any good memories of him?
Yeah. Happy memories.
Yeah, he's quite a funny horse, wasn't he?
And he loved my carrots.
He loved the carrots. Can you see her now?
Yeah.
Go see her. Here,
Carrots.
yeah. And remember him with his head.
Yeah.
His head.
Happy days. I called him Noddy.
Noddy. He's always nodding his head. Yeah, he's always doing this with his head all the time, nodding his head, and he's actually, and that's the what I ended up calling him, was Noddy. I gave him a nickname, Noddy, because he's always nodding his head. And then all the rest of the horses followed suit after WORTHAD. All the rest of them followed suit, like Invincible started, and then Lucy Pimpernel started. So I was trying to think of names for them, because I started calling WORTHAD Noddy, so trying to think of names for the other horses. And elusive, so I call it elusive monster, and so Liam, the thing Liam calls him it's a giant, is it?
The Nodster, is it?
No, you call him Invincible, giant or monster?
Invincible?
No, elusive.
Monster.
Monster. You call him monster. I call him the giant.
Yeah.
So we kind of we combine the two words, monster and Noddy. So we call him Nodster. So we tried to think of one for Invincible. I couldn't think of one for Invincible. So I still haven't thought of one for Invincible at all. Where's she gone again?
Under the seat.
But anyway, so that's really it. But he was very cheerful, very happy, contented horse, and he was very sorely missed. And so I was very honoured and very privileged to have known WORTHAD and to have the time I had with him, and to have had him as a friend. He was a really dear friend, and he was very missed. And I really do miss WORTHAD dearly. And I really do miss him dearly. He was a very good friend, and he'd be very sorely missed. And rest in peace, WORTHAD, and your legacy will live on with your offspring. Thank you.